Fisher, okay? Do not speak quiet.
Today, um, Sweet Cheeks was doing battles, and anybody that watches him knows he likes to do these crazy punishment battles. I can't stand them, and he knows I can't stand them, so he only does one usually. But today he was doing those silent battles because somebody, and if anybody has ever watched punishment battles, because that's what a lot of people on TikTok do, um, and as far as immaturity, there are grown ass men doing it.
So her saying he would never intentionally be racist, intent doesn't erase impact. Racism doesn't have to be intentional to be harmful, especially when it involves one of the most historically dehumanizing image used against black people. This is the classic defense mechanism, insisting he's too sweet or innocent to be racist when the behavior speaks for itself. Excusing racism with "it's just a battle." She tries to normalize racist behavior by saying, this is how they do these battles. Even big creators do this. Comparing black people to monkeys is never justifiable as banter or TikTok culture. That's one of the most historically loaded and offensive racial tropes.
Literally, some of his opponents, and it is literally they call them toxic battles because you try to go at the other person to get them to speak or do whatever to make them lose their composure. So today Sweet Cheeks was doing battles, and he doesn't understand how racism is here. He doesn't understand a lot of things, but he doesn't understand that for sure. Because he doesn't even look at people differently if they're different colors. And today, while he was battling, well, he was battling several people, and if one of them was Spanish, he would joke around with them about that, and if whatever. Um, and he was battling a younger black woman, and when he battles one of them, he'll say, "Hey, look at me, smile," and then he'll pull up a picture of an animal and say, "Here's your picture." It's a way to try to get them to speak because it's like a silent battle. This is how they do it. This is how they do these battles. Some of the biggest creators on TikTok do these battles. But today, when he was doing it, he was battling this girl, and and he had already shown this one man that he was a donkey, and just to try to get him to laugh. And then he was battling this girl, and he's doing pictures, told her to smile, do the whole thing, and he pulled up a picture of a monkey. And I get it. I get it. I wasn't there when he did it. I came back after the fact, and Kiki and Evie told me, and I immediately messaged him and said, "Don't do that anymore. That's not what. That's not something that. That's not funny. That's not something." And he was like, "What?" He didn't get it because he showed the same picture yesterday to another man. Um, and after the fact, I had to explain to him that that was a very derogatory statement to make to anybody of color. And he said, "I'm colored."
So him saying I'm colored too as if that absolves him. Being a person of color doesn't exempt someone from being racist. Prejudice exists within communities of colors too, and I'm colored is an outdated and offensive phrase in itself.
He didn't understand, what it meant.
Of
So
course.
after the fact, I explained it to him, and he was so mad at himself.
So, right here, she emphasizes, right, that he's mad at himself. How she explained why it was wrong after the fact. The fact that he didn't already know comparing a black woman to a monkey is offensive shows willful ignorance at his best and malice at worst. Explaining it afterward doesn't undo the harm, it's damage control.
He didn't understand because, and we don't talk about this, but he uses the filter, the lights, um, to make himself look lighter because of the way that he's been perceived on TikTok. Because if he looks lighter and with these ring lights, then people don't recognize him as being from the area he's from or from the country that he's from. And some of his cousins are black.
She pivots into saying he uses filters to appear lighter and hide from where he's from, and mentions his black cousins, as if that somehow proves he's not racist. This is textbook optical allyship, using vague proximity to blackness. He has black cousins to dodge accountability.
Some of them are darker complected than others. And I've told him repeatedly that he doesn't need to use the ring light, but he does it just because of all the negativity they got when he first started battling. So he's the last person that would ever intentionally insult somebody because of their race. I mean, look
Right.
at the shit that's said about him all the time.
Right.
Not just because of his race, but because of his religion.
So here she says people make fun of him because of his race and religion. This is an attempt to flip the script and make him the victim of discrimination, as if that cancels out the racist act he committed. Discrimination against him does not absolve him of his own actions. This is deflection 101.
No, he has no idea, Susan. He has no idea. Um, so right after he went to sleep, after we got off the phone with my mom, I somebody sent me a message, and of course, because people kept coming in while I was up on panel with him, she's old enough to be your mother. You're really in a relationship. The same shit they do every time we go live. And the reason that he went live today is because he went and had this neon sign made that said N loves N. Nabil loves Natasha. His letter was in green, mine was in pink.
So here she says he got a neon sign for me. He was so excited to show me that. That's why he went live today. This is a sentimental distraction. The goal is to shift the narrative from his racist behavior to, aw, look how much he loves me. It's an emotional manipulation designed to soften the audience and paint him as a romantic, not a racist. Being sweet to your girlfriend doesn't make you not racist to strangers.
And he was so excited to show me that. That's why he went live today. And then he did some battles, and he only did one actual punishment battle because I told him to stop because it was just ridiculous. Because some of these people just act like nuts with it, and then it's ridiculous.
Okay, so now what she's going to do is blame the audience. Now she will pivot to blaming the chat and anyone watching critically for harassing them for with age gap comments, further deflection from the actual issue, which is of course his racist behavior. This is the old we're just misunderstood spin. Now she's going to the attack phase. Instead of addressing why people are upset, she tries to discredit the critics with snarky jabs, all while refusing to take responsibility. That's pure DARVO behavior. DARVO, deny. They deny the behavior completely. Attack. They attack the person confronting them. Reverse victim and offender. They pretend they're the real victim and the accuser is the bad guy. So here are some examples. Deny. He didn't mean it like that. He's not racist. The attack. Y'all are just jealous and obsessed. Are you woke yet? Is a joke. Reverse victim and offender. People make fun of him for his race and religion. We're always getting hate. This is a classic manipulation loop that derails the real issue, in this case, racism, and makes the perpetrator seem like the one being wrong. And now she's going to attack this creator called Are You Woke Yet, who is about unwoke as a coma patient, is what she will say. So now we are in the attack phase. Instead of addressing why people are upset, she tries to discredit the critics with a snarky jab, all while refusing to take responsibility.
You chastised Robbie for making fun of Nabil's native tongue because he is hard to understand. I witnessed Nabil doing the same thing to others that he could not understand just because he could not speak their language. Well, did you miss the fact that he translated so that they know what he was saying? Apparently you did. Yes, they stalked him to TikTok. But of course they don't mention any of that. It's very racist to be battling a woman of color, black, and pretend to take their picture and show them a picture of a big, ugly gorilla. Not to mention the other pics he showed to others he was battling from different countries. He's from a different country, you dumb ass. I've seen him raise his fist to those he battles and try to cheat when he's losing. How exactly do you cheat?
There's no such thing as cheating.
Exactly, because he's lost plenty of battles. So how exactly was he cheating? Then call them cheaters if they win. No, what he did was call them cheaters because those two girls, the one in particular, told him she didn't have any smoke. Could she bring in a second person to help her? And then they both threw 30, 40,000 points. Yes, they cheated. They lied. He had every reason to call them out for that. When have you seen him do the same? You haven't. And he loses plenty. The other night he had to put toothpaste with freaking chili powder in it all underneath his eyes, and his eyes were burning out of his head. He is as immature just as you are. And by the way, I've had the chance to watch more than one battle. He behaves the same in all of them. Raising his fists to women, speaking to women like dogs. Shame on all of you for trying to excuse his behavior. All in my humble opinion from what I've witnessed firsthand.
This thing was
Silent! You have no friend? You have silent. Why are you speaking and you play a quiet game?
the one I love them.
Do not speak. Why are you speak? You play a quiet game. Do not speak quiet. Follow. Okay. Bye. Cannot speak, okay? If I see you speak,
No,
okay?
get out.
Cannot
Come on,
speak.
get out from here.
Cannot speak until dead, okay? Cannot
The
speak.
game is
Cannot
over.
speak.
The game is over. Get out from here.
You get out.
You may try to spin this, but none of you can. Sweet cheeks, my ass. What? Bitch, you need to go watch some more battles. Because you're obviously a fucking idiot. Inappropriate towards women? He literally, if they have cleavage showing, he covers his eyes.
Natasha's statement isn't about accountability. It's damage control with a sprinkle of love bombing, victimhood, and public manipulation. She wants sympathy for her and her boyfriend, the audience to focus on their love, not his racism, critics to look jealous or woke haters. But none of that changes what happened. He showed a monkey image to a young black woman. He laughed about it. She's trying to excuse it. This wasn't a bad joke or a game. It was racism, period. And instead of acknowledging it, Natasha, of course, wrapped this up in romance, victimhood, and deflection, and the same manipulative tactic we've seen time and time again. Accountability means saying that was wrong, period. Not, but look at the neon sign he got me. If you're tired of influencers using crocodile tears and distraction tactics to dodge responsibility, hit that like button, subscribe, and sound off in the comments. Have you seen this behavior before? Do you think she's genuinely clueless or just plain dumb? How about him? Is he genuinely clueless and plain dumb? Let's talk about it. This is Toxicity of Social Media, where the truth doesn't need filters. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.